Berberine has been called nature's Ozempic for its ability to help folks balance their blood sugar, improve type 2 diabetes, and drop unwanted fat. But does it live up to the hype? Keep watching to learn how berberine works and if it's actually good for weight loss. In functional medicine, we consider fat gain a symptom of a deeper root cause, or, more often than not, multiple root causes. Clearly, making healthy food choices and getting enough movement are absolutely crucial components for weight loss, as well as for addressing chronic diseases like high cholesterol, elevated blood sugars, and hemoglobin A1C, and type 2 diabetes. But diet and exercise aren't the only factors involved, especially for women, even more specifically for women in perimenopause or menopause. Additional variables often outweigh many of the positive effects of a healthy lifestyle, making fat loss difficult. A few of these are hormone imbalance, genetic inefficiencies, toxic load, loss of stress resilience, gut dysfunction, and even neurological issues. That's why the old calories in, calories out model of weight loss doesn't fly in functional medicine. And it's why I share videos like this one with you, so you can get to the root of your symptoms. Can berberine help? The short answer is yes, but it's important to understand how it works in order to figure out if it will be helpful for your specific quest to get healthy, prevent or treat type 2 diabetes, lower your bad cholesterol, and drop some unwelcome pounds. If you're thinking about adding this powerhouse nutraceutical to your wellness routine, be sure to watch to the end of the video for important tips and things to watch out for. Berberine is one of the more popular nutraceuticals to enter the weight loss conversation, with some folks even calling it nature's Ozempic, following the recent explosion of GLP-1 weight loss drugs. But there's nothing new about berberine. It's been on the health scene for thousands of years, and there's a lot of great evidence demonstrating its benefits. A natural compound found in plants like golden seal, Oregon grape, tree turmeric, and barberry, berberine has loads of science behind it. A quick literature search reveals over 20,000 research articles published about berberine since 2020 alone, with hundreds of thousands before that. Here's one highlight from all that research. According to a 2012 meta-analysis of 14 different studies, including more than 1,000 people, berberine was able to help with blood sugar control as much as the common diabetes medication metformin, and with far fewer side effects. That brings us to the first way that berberine helps you lose fat. It's a Goldilocks nutraceutical for glucose. Have you ever heard the children's fairy tale of Goldilocks and the Three Bears? If so, you'll probably remember that the main character of the story, a curious girl who comes upon the Three Bears' house in the forest, is seeking just right. Not too hot, too cold, too hard, too soft, but just right. In the same way, berberine helps keep blood sugars and insulin levels from being too high or too low. Instead, it keeps them in the range of just right. When your blood sugar stays balanced, it not only helps your body burn stored fats, but it helps prevent type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and elevated cholesterol. This group of symptoms, including increased fat around the midsection, is known as metabolic syndrome, and it results in chronic disease, disability, and even death. Speaking of metabolism, berberine has been known to activate a regulatory compound called adenosine monophosphate kinase, or AMPK, which is known as the master metabolic switch in fat and muscle cells. Improving metabolism on a cellular level improves insulin sensitivity and reduces fat accumulation in the body, which is especially important because your metabolism tends to slow down with age and decline along with hormones like testosterone and even thyroid hormone. The beautiful thing about balanced blood sugar is that it doesn't just help you lose fat and prevent health problems down the road. It makes you feel a lot better right now, too. Stabilizing your glucose throughout the day can help resolve fatigue, mood swings, anxiety, depression, brain fog, joint pain, insomnia, and even hot flashes. While berberine is a great, well-studied way to optimize your blood sugar levels, there are other reasons you could be struggling to lose weight, specifically related to your gut microbiome, which is made up of the 3 to 4 pounds of microbes that live in and on your body. The most important thing to understand about the microbiome is that it plays a crucial life-saving role in your survival as a human. You could not live without your microbiome. It talks to your immune system, your brain, your liver, your lungs, and other body systems, keeping things balanced and functional by partnering with your own cells. And when the bacteria, yeasts, and other microbes in your gut are imbalanced, we call that dysbiosis. An unhappy microbiome can cause all sorts of problems, including blood sugar imbalance from poor digestion and absorption of your food, gas and bloating, diarrhea and constipation, chronic inflammation, depression and anxiety, hormone imbalance, and of course, fat gain and/or trouble losing weight. Thankfully, our friend Berberine can help us with this too. Berberine is useful for getting rid of certain microbes, including a common yeast called Candida that has a tendency to overgrow and cause problems like heartburn and reflux, bloating and gas, constipation, and even skin conditions like eczema and acne. Not only does it help handle overgrowth of unhelpful bugs, but berberine can also increase the amount of gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, which serve as an energy source for the cells of your intestines. Berberine also increases the amount of a very special bacteria called Akkermansia, which regulates inflammation and improves gut barrier integrity, also known as leaky gut. Akkermansia does a lot of other cool stuff, which I talk about in the video I have lined up for you after this one. So be sure to stick around for that after we finish up here. The biggest reason that folks are comparing berberine to drugs like Ozempic has to do with a hormone made in your gut called glucagon-like peptide 1, or GLP-1, and its impact on hunger signals in your body. When you eat, the GLP-1 hormone sends a signal to your pancreas that causes the release of insulin, which tells your cells to take in glucose from your blood, lowering your blood sugar. This is why GLP-1 agonist medications like Ozempic were originally developed to treat type 2 diabetes, a condition where your cells become resistant to insulin's actions over time. GLP-1 hormone also improves satiety, or the sense that you've had enough to eat, by activating certain areas of your brain. That's why it can help lower appetite and food cravings. GLP-1 slows down how quickly food moves from your stomach to your intestines, a process called gastric emptying. This keeps you feeling full longer, so you can eat less, which can result in weight loss for some people. GLP-1 agonist medications don't stimulate the release of GLP hormone by your cells. Instead, they mimic the effects of GLP-1 hormone by activating the same receptors as your homemade hormone. Instead of working with your body to help your gut make more GLP-1 on its own, these medications hijack the system, giving you exponentially increased GLP-1 activity without your body actually making more of it. This is how drugs like Ozempic can result in such dramatic weight loss. Unfortunately, for some people, it can also result in very negative side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. One study reported that 50% of patients taking GLP-1 agonists experience nausea while taking them. And because you're not assessing and addressing the reasons that your own gut isn't making enough GLP-1 to help you lose weight, you're stuck taking the meds. A 2022 study showed that participants who discontinued GLP-1 agonist treatment gained most of their weight back within 1 year. But this doesn't mean that supporting your body's production of GLP-1 hormone is a bad idea. It can absolutely help you lose weight, balance your blood sugar, prevent chronic disease, and even feel better digestively, not worse. And you can boost your secretion of GLP-1 naturally using food, micronutrients, herbs, and even probiotics. As you may have already guessed, berberine is a great GLP-1 booster. One meta-analysis showed that just 1 gram of concentrated berberine significantly lowered cholesterol, BMI, weight, fasting glucose, hemoglobin A1C, and other metabolic markers. And remember that special bacteria that berberine supports called Akkermansia? As a bonus, Akkermansia also helps boost GLP-1 by producing N-butyrate, an important short-chain fatty acid. That's what I mean by getting to the root cause of the problem. If you're thinking about taking supplemental berberine in order to lose fat, balance your blood sugar, or treat metabolic syndrome, there are a few things you'll want to know. First of all, quality is important. You need to make sure you're taking a practitioner-grade, standardized extract containing berberine hydrochlorate, not just some smashed-up golden seal plant. And dose is important as well. I outline all of this in my free Fat Loss Trio checklist, so be sure to grab your copy via the link in the video description for all of my specific suggestions. The second thing to note is that because berberine shifts things around with your microbiome, you may experience some mild, temporary digestive symptoms like bloating, heartburn, or gas sometime in the first few weeks of taking it. Not to worry, it typically only lasts a week or so and signals bacterial or yeast die-off, which is a good thing. The third thing to remember is that healing from the root cause takes time. Berberine is not the same as Ozempic, and it is not a singular strategy for weight loss. Food choices, movement, stress, and many other factors need to be considered as well. That said, if you're on a health improvement journey with diet and lifestyle, but are still struggling with blood sugar, cholesterol, or weight loss resistance, berberine can help give you a boost in the right direction. Thanks so much for watching. As promised, I've got another video all queued up for you, all about the benefits of akkermansia. But before you go, if you found this information useful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Oh, and be sure to sign up for the Functional Fat Loss Trio. I've put the link in the video description so you can grab your copy. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.